Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the first edition of Wrestling Hangouts. I am here reunited with good old JM Jeff Meacham. How you doing today, Jeff?
It's like you never left, Riff. It's been a few days, and we're already back on together.
Yeah, it's been a crazy few days for me. So get this, I am at a car dealership buying a car, and I get a phone call from Mike Nagel. He's calling me. I cannot answer it because I'm in the process of signing the paperwork for my car, and he leaves a voicemail. And in a moment, I check the voicemail, and he's telling me that Roman Reigns has been suspended from WWE. And I thought he was ribbing me. I thought it was complete BS. And I just ignored the call, and then he tried calling me again. And at that point, I thought maybe something was up, so I checked my phone, and my phone was blowing up with texts and messages. It was true. Roman Reigns has been suspended by WWE for 30 days for violating the wellness policy. What was your reaction to this?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned my reaction because I talked to our buddy Greg Cherry about this, and he mentioned that it was quite ironic that he happened to lose the championship, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, his suspension is up just before Battleground.
Yeah, that's definitely some interesting timing. Now, I believe that perhaps WWE knew about this suspension and knew about the results before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and they figured, okay, we have 5 weeks until Battleground, so we can go ahead and shoot the angle for the match, suspend Roman, and then he comes back right before the pay-per-view and the match can go on as scheduled. Very interesting, though. I mean, this very well could be the reason why Roman lost the title at the pay-per-view.
That's my theory. I mean, they were talking for so long about, making Roman look strong and making sure that he remained the guy, and all of a sudden, not only does he lose, but his immediate rematch is taken away by Dean Ambrose cashing in.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, that's very suspect. And then the following Tuesday, they announced a suspension that just happens to coincide with him returning for the pay-per-view triple threat that we've all been talking about for 2 years.
Right. Yeah. I mean, very unexpected turn of events here, and this is probably, with the exception of Randy Orton, the biggest name to be suspended by WWE for the wellness policy violation.
This is WWE's answer to the last 10 years of everybody going, they'll never suspend anybody big.
Yeah.
They'll never suspend the champion. God, no way. They'll never do that. They need their business too much. Well, here's McMahon going, see, I told you.
Yeah, I'm sure Vince is not thrilled about this. And
I'm sure he's not.
We have to wonder what will happen to Roman now. Will he continue to be pushed really strong? And with the brand extension coming up, will Roman still become world champion for one brand and be the top star in one brand, with John Cena being the top star in the other brand? Or will WWE change plans? That is the big question at this point. What will be the fallout from this long term?
I think it will all depend on what he was suspended for.
Yeah, and we don't know at this point.
It depends what drug, because if it's an RVD type scenario and it was marijuana, they're going to look the other way.
Well, that's just a fine anyways. That's not a suspension.
Well, but, for now it is.
Yeah.
Maybe they changed that. We don't even know that. But if it was something really, really bad, this could affect him long term.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what it was exactly, and he did go on Twitter and apologize publicly, but it was very vague. He just said he made a mistake and he's owning up to it. He apologized to his fans and family and all that, and that's really all we know at this point, other than the fact that he is suspended. He will not be on television until the Battleground pay-per-view, it looks like.
Because I think the SmackDown leading in is taped before 30 days.
Right, yeah, so he might not show up till the pay-per-view, so I guess it's going to be Ambrose and Rollins doing the majority of the build-up. Really interesting. I'm surprised if they knew in advance that Roman was going to be out. I would think that maybe they should have done something like do an injury angle. I mean, it's going to be really weird now. Are they just going to ignore his existence for 3 or 4 weeks and just pretend like there is no suspension on television? It's going to be really weird.
I think the problem is that they hotshotted this because in a perfect world, the Shield triple threat main event SummerSlam, that's going to draw money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But also you have to keep in mind the whole brand split. So I think that there was a need to rush this so they could do the match, because after the brand extension, guys can be on different rosters, and it wouldn't be as logical to do a triple threat match at that point once they're on separate shows.
Agreed to a certain extent, but like I said at the top, people have been talking about a Shield triple threat since the Shield debut.
Yeah, right. So there goes the giant bandana went down.
I was gonna say, what the hell was that? I think they could have figured out a way to, even if they were on separate shows, have, like, let's say Roman was still champion, or Roman, well, they can't now because of the suspension, but let's say Ambrose is champion on both shows. Yeah. And let's say Rollins goes here and Reigns goes here. They can still have both of them staking their claim to the championship, and then have Ambrose going, you know what, screw it. Shane, Stephanie, I want both of them at SummerSlam. They could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, with better writing, of course, they could have come up with something creative to extend this into SummerSlam. But yeah, they are hot-shotting it. It is taking place at Battleground. Who knows? Maybe they have something huge for Battleground. I talked about this on my video, the possibility of Triple H versus Rollins at SummerSlam, and maybe somehow Triple H will cost Seth Rollins the title, and maybe this means Dean Ambrose will be champion longer than some of us were expecting. Maybe he'll be a long-term champion now because of this. Who knows?
Well, you and I talked about this last week when we taped our Money in the Bank predictions, that we both pretty much laid it out there that Ambrose was going to cash in and win the championship, and we both said that it all would depend on the initial reaction to the championship and to the Monday Night Raw after, and based on those two, Ambrose looks like he's going to be factored in to be champion because the people were eating that up.
Yeah, the crowd reaction was huge, and Raw's rating was way up this week. It was up.
I went up half a point, which is huge for them.
Yeah, like 400,000 or 500,000 people this week, so that's a pretty big increase. And I think it's obvious the title change was what got people interested in tuning into Raw.
Yeah, exactly. The numbers don't lie. You talk about Edge, winning Money in the Bank and cashing in against John Cena, and it was the highest rated month of Raw in the previous 10 years.
Right, yeah.
For the numbers to jump 500,000 people in the course of a week is huge for McMahon.
Yeah, definitely. And, I think that Roman Reigns can possibly benefit from this in a way, because maybe WWE will be more open to the idea of him turning heel and changing up his character. But the stuff he did at Money in the Bank, I mean, when he was acting heelish and trash-talking and grabbing the table, and then on Raw when he told the male fans to drink their beer and shut up, I liked that side of Roman Reigns. I want to see more of that. I don't know about you, but that stuff was great. I mean, it really showed another side of Roman that I think could really be explored upon and really could lead to something great.
To take a picture of Stone Cold, part of the four-letter word here, but Dan and I were both like, fuck yeah, Roman, when he said that. It was like, right on.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, yeah, you know what? Because the 18 to 34 that we almost are now, for God help us, are sitting there with their beer in their hand going, Roman again, and they're pissing on him. And Roman finally just said, you know what? You guys said shut up and drink your beer. It was so fantastic for him to, hopefully, it leads to something more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the suspension, as Vince always says, take a negative and turn it into a positive, and use this to do something with Roman and take him to the next level, and maybe get him as a bigger star than he ever was before. Maybe the fact that they don't want to make him a clean-cut babyface now because of this suspension, maybe that'll be a good thing moving forward.
You would think so, but this is WWE logic we're talking about too.
Yeah, so of course we don't know all the details right now. This is an ongoing breaking story. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest regarding that. Now, let's move on here a little bit. Real quick, since you haven't had the chance to comment on the NoDQ channel, what were your thoughts on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view overall? What did you like and not like?
I actually liked the whole show. It was decently booked. No real surprises, which was good for my son's predictions. He went 9-1. in those 10 matches.
I was surprised about Dean Ambrose. I was surprised. I mean, I know you called it, but I don't know. Just the way that he was portrayed on Raw, I thought, okay, there's no way he's winning at Money in the Bank. But yeah, the guy that was actually being hyped up to win actually won Money in the Bank. So, I liked it. I was definitely a fan of it happening. I'm glad that they went in that direction.
Yeah, you went your typical WWE logic opposite, thinking it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I just had a feeling. I just had a funny feeling that Ambrose would be, as Roman would say, the guy. I had a feeling that Roman would make it happen. That Dean would make it happen. And sure enough, he actually makes it happen. So it was awesome that WWE, for once, put a little twist on it. They actually made us believe, and they followed through the belief. Right. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, but who knows if the whole suspension thing came down maybe towards the end of the week, maybe before the news of the suspension came down in WWE HQ, maybe the plan was for Kevin Owens to win Money in the Bank. Who knows? That could have been changed at the last minute because of the wellness policy violation.
Well, but I like what they did with Owens and Zayn last night, though. I like that they're going to have those two battle forever or whatever. They're going to have some sort of definitive answer to that feud.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and I thought that would be something WWE could do since we have the brand extension coming up, and they could settle the score, have one final match before the brand extension, then go their separate ways.
Well, remember, when they were both out here, and I think Kevin left first, they had a Guerrilla Warfare match at PWG.
Yeah.
And Generico beat him. So, it would be very interesting if they had a similar type blow off to their feud, had just a nasty
hardcore
barn burner to blow it off.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's definitely a good direction that WWE is going with that feud. Looking forward to that. So yeah, you enjoyed Money in the Bank. Now let me ask you, do you think it was the greatest Money in the Bank of all time? Because on NoDQ.com I put up a poll where people could rank the Money in the Bank pay-per-views, and currently this year's Money in the Bank is number 1 over 2011, which I disagree with. I think 2011 was the best Money in the Bank pay-per-view. What do you think?
2011 is the best Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But you know what? This year is like 1A.
Oh, Jeff, move your face to the left a little bit. We're losing you. We're losing your face. Okay, that's better. That's better. Much better.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. We're work in progress here, trying to do this double shot here.
Yeah.
Basically, I feel that 2011 was the best, but this year is like 1A because it was very, very good, very well produced. But you remember, 2011, you had the Punk Cena match, which was the greatest match of the last 15 years, roughly. You had Bryan winning Money in the Bank. You had Alberto winning Money in the Bank. And a solid undercard underneath it. It was just a great, and you know what? Nothing beats the Chicago. I don't care. I'm from LA.
Yeah.
You've been to different crowds over the world. You've seen the show. You've seen shows all over the world, the country. But Chicago's crowd helped make that show. At the same time, the matches themselves helped make that show.
Totally
this
agree.
year, if this pay-per-view had taken place in Chicago, I think Chicago would have not enjoyed it as much as they did because their boy won the championship 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah, definitely the Chicago crowd helped. And don't forget also Christian won the world title in that match where if Orton got disqualified, he lost the title. That was an interesting storyline as well.
It was an interesting storyline, but the result was just disgusting.
Well, Orton beat the crap out of him afterwards. That was entertaining.
It was entertaining, but seriously, I remember Dad and I sitting here watching that, just ready to vomit. It was just nasty to see him just knock that big loogie right in Randy's face. It was so gross.
Yeah, I loved it, though. I thought it was great. I thought it was great knowing Randy Orton's history with anger management. It was a very entertaining storyline, in my opinion. But yeah, that whole show was great. And this year's Money in the Bank was great, too. I would definitely put it at number 2 when we're ranking the Money in the Bank pay-per-views. That would be number 2. And number 1 would be 2011. All right, so before we go here, I know you wanted to mention the China Memorial, so you want to go ahead?
I did. I wanted to get it out there because our girl, we're having a memorial for her tomorrow in Redondo Beach. And for those of you that haven't had a chance. I don't know if her manager Anthony is still taking submissions, but if you go to therealchina.com, CHYNA, of course, therealchina.com, there's all the information on there. If you've not gotten yourself in to get tickets for yourself, there's like 1,000 seats open. I think it's like a dozen left, maybe less now. Get yourself in there if you're in Southern California, because X-Pac's going to be there. Paul Sorvino is going to be there singing Amazing Grace with his orchestra. You know, it's going to be an event worthy of China. It's going to be something that people are going to go and they're going to cry and it's going to be sad, but we're going to celebrate her life. And it's going to be something that is very important to the people that were close to her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I wish you were down here.
Yeah, I know. You'll have a report on No DQ, perhaps?
Well, what I am trying to do is use the old Aaron Riff method of having a camera and using my phone for the microphone.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to try to do is talk to her manager and talk to a few fans there. And then he told me I could film the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
So what I may do is do that, submit it for his approval first, and then see what he allows me to post.
So maybe we'll have some clips up on the No DQ channel from the memorial.
I'll do my best. Like I said, he's making sure that her image is protected.
Yeah.
So whatever I am allowed to post on the World Wide Web, if you will, the worldwide media, I will do that. Yeah. But I have to go through channels. I have to do the right thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's definitely a positive experience for everyone involved. And
it will, like I said, there will be tears shed. It will be sad, but Anthony has made it very clear that we are to celebrate her life, not mourn her loss.
I totally agree on that. So, with that being said, we will wrap things up here for this first edition of Wrestling Hangouts here on youtube.com/NoDQCAW or Aaron Riff NoDQ. Both URLs will work. And make sure you follow good old JM Jeff Meacham. What's the address?
Twitter.com/_Jeff Meacham. You can find me on YouTube. I ever post a new video, that is, at youtube.com/JD Meacham.
There you have it. And just a viewer reminder to everyone out there. The Scoop episode 100 will be taping live tomorrow night, Wednesday night, I believe, 4:30 Pacific time, so that would be 7:30 Eastern time. And myself, Jeff, Mike, Eric Barnes, Noah.
Hang on, don't plug me yet, because...
Wait, you're backing out of this now, Jeff?
No, I'm not backing out. It's the fact that I'll be on the road when you guys are taping.
You SOB. I
already talked to Noah. He's bummed at me too, but it's like the China thing was planned a month ago, and I'll literally be on probably the 405 freeway by 4:30.
Well, you're going to be moving like 4 or 5 miles an hour, so you're going to need some time.
It'll be 4:30 afternoons. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, hell, at 1:30 you'll be doing
I will do my best to have FaceTime open.
I mean, at least you got to be on for a little bit, because we've been hyping up Jeff Meacham, and no one needs the viewers. This is episode 100. It only comes once in a lifetime. It's not like Cena versus The Rock. This only happens once.
I know. I will do everything I can to make sure that I look my best, and I will be ready to go by 4:30. That way, if
I hate. You know what? I'm hating iTunes right now. iTunes just had a stupid pop-up go right in the middle of this video. I hate iTunes. I mean, every time I plug in my phone, the stupid thing pops up and it bounces around and it interrupts my videos. I hate it.
Did we have this problem with Google Hangouts when we did the show?
No, but I mean, I like this format better because we can have the split screen here without going back and forth, and the audio's better. With Google Hangouts, it's all the delay and with the audio and everything being
Apple, get your shit together. Stop that.
Yeah. Apple, you think they have so much money they could not be as annoying, but oh well, it is what it is. All right, so maybe Jeff Meacham on Scoop 100, maybe at least a hello, maybe an insult at Noah, call him a salty biscuit, anything just for Noah on episode 100.
If I'm not on the live 5 o'clock show, I will be on the kickoff for sure.
You can even give us a video, point the camera towards the freeway so we can see how miserable it is. And
it's miserable because
how's the weather been down there? I mean, up here, it's been cloudy and maybe around 80 degrees. It's been nice.
Oh, by the way, I saw your comment yesterday on my Facebook feed about I put the temperature to 111 and 77. Yeah. The hell with you.
So it's just a little bit hot there.
Yeah. It's just a little bit warm for you up there. 77, nice and balmy. Everything's chill. 111 freaking degrees down here. We're like melting in the heat.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I heard some people were getting heat stroke and had to go to the hospital out in LA.
Put it this way, dude. I had to take Dylan down to his mom yesterday. So I get to North. I literally leave their place, which is down near the Paramount area, and it was like 99 at the bus stop. At the bus stop, of course, at the big old cement bus is so hot. I get on the bus, everything's fine. I get on the blue line, whatever. I get to North Hollywood. It's 108 there.
Holy crap! That's insane.
I literally stepped off the train. It was like I turned into a puddle. It was hideous. And then I get on the bus thinking, it won't be that bad getting home. I step off in Newhall there, the Carl's Jr. there by the freeway.
Yeah, I know where that is.
I literally was dripping wet within 2 minutes.
All right. That's a visual I care not to have in my
Well, we're talking about, spitting in people's faces, so I might as well get the sweat in there, too.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so on that note, we will wrap things up for this first edition of Wrestling Hangouts. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time.